Hello everyone. Today we are on the 7th week of our course Metrics and Analytics of Marketing. In today's class, in this week, we will be delving into a new topic which is named as Product and Portfolio Management. In this topic, we will try to understand various aspects associated with product strategy and planning. What are the various metrics that a manager needs to look into when they make a strategy for a product and plan for a product. Basically, the marketer's success is defined by or determined by the customer's knowledge and an understanding of how product fits the customer needs. The product matrix, the product related matrix will ask the marketer several questions. These are part of some critical thinking regarding the market environment, and we need a detailed understanding about these questions in order to make our product launch successful. The questions can be, for a new product, what is the expected volume of sales in a particular year? What will be its impact on the existing set of products? What will be whether the brand equity will be in the improving phase or in a declining phase. So, all these questions can be answered through some of the product metrics, and in this week we will be delving into various categories of product metrics. Basically, we will start with trial, repeat, penetration and volume projections metrics. Then we will move into in our next class we will move into the growth percentage matrix and CAGR matrix. Then we can look into cannibalization rate and fair share draw rate. Then towards the end we will look into brand equity matrix and concern utilities and consumers preference matrix. So, this will be the overall outline for this week. Let us start with today's sessions, where we will be talking about some of the metrics related to trial, repeat purchase, customer penetration, awareness and volume projections. Let us start with the overview of this metrics. First, let us try to understand what is called a trial rate. A trial rate denotes the percentage of a defined population that purchases or uses a product for the first time in a given period of time. Somebody is, you have launched a product and one customer is purchasing the product for the first time. If you are launching the product in this particular year, all your purchaser will be your trial purchaser. So, whoever is not a repeat purchaser is called a trial purchaser. So, this particular matrix helps us understand, helps us bifurcate who are our ever users and who are our new users. The purpose of this matrix is basically our overall prediction of volume sales should not be dependent on the trial users, rather it should be more dependent on the repeat purchaser, because repeat purchasers are indicators of satisfaction. Repeat purchasers are indicators of loyal customers. Repeat customers are indicators of the product quality, right. So, this matrix is important from that perspective. It can bifurcate who are our new customers, who are our repeat customers, what is the volume consumed by the new customers, what is the volume consumed by the repeat customers. Next one is penetration. Penetration is the percentage of the target market that has purchased the product at least once during a specific period of time. It reflects the reach of your brand to the target audience. How many customers have at least tried your product, and it is always related to the given time frame. So, this understanding is important because more people start purchasing your product, there will be a vibe in the market regarding your brand. Next concept is regarding the volume projection. Volume projection is all about estimating the total units or sales volume of the product that will be generated over the given period of time. This particular matrix helps our finance department for budgeting. It helps our production department for our production planning, like whether we will need new equipment, whether we will need new automation level. This understanding also helps our HR department, whether new employees, new staff will be required in order to match the new requirement for the company or estimated requirement for the company. Then there comes this repeat purchase. Basically, repeat refers to the proportion of the consumers who purchase the product again after their first trial. Repeat purchase, it reflects the customer satisfaction, it reflects the product quality, and it reflects the long term brand potential. If somebody is purchasing for the first time, it can be just for the trial purpose. Then whether the customers will be satisfied is dependent on whether the customers' needs and expectations are being met by the product or not. So, only if the customer is satisfied with the product, then only he will purchase the same brand again. So, it is a indicator of satisfaction, customer satisfaction. It is an indicator of product quality, because customers will only be satisfied if the perceived product quality is good. And if there are more repeat customers, if more number of customers are satisfied with your product, then your brand equity will improve over a period of time. Next concept that comes into picture is the test markets. Test markets and volume projections enable marketers to forecast sales by sampling customers' intentions through surveys and market studies. Let us say I am launching a new product. How do I know if the product will be accepted in the market or not? I have to do some estimation, and based on that estimation I will do my production planning, I will manage my finances. So, to do that, what do? Either I can go with a market research, I can go with a market survey. In case I go with a market survey, what do? I try to understand, I try to give a demonstration or explanation of the product, kind of product that I am going to launch, and I will try to capture the purchase intention of the potential set of customers, right. By estimating how many customers will try a new product and how often they will make the repeat purchases, marketers can establish the basis for their overall projections. Now, let us try to understand what is the purpose of this matrix: trial, repeat, penetration and volume projections. To understand this volume projection, when projecting sales for relatively new products, marketers typically use a system of trial and repeat calculations to anticipate sales in the future period. This works on the principle that everyone buying the product will either be a new customer or a repeat customer. Basically, what these matrices are doing is they are bifurcating the two categories of customers: new customers versus repeat customers. By adding the new and repeat customers in any period, what we can establish is the penetration of the product in the marketplace. It is challenging, however, to project sales to a large population on the basis of simulated test markets or even full-fledged regional rollouts. Because if it is a large market, let's say our market coverage is huge, then in that case it is extreme, almost impossible for all of us to contact each of these potential customers and try to understand what will be their purchase intention. So, what we can do is we can just do a kind of market survey To illustrate the conceptual underpinning of this process, the general model is offered with the help of said matrix for making volume projection on the basis of the test market results. This is important. Sampling is extremely important because we cannot cover the entire population. It is costly, there is challenges related to the time frame. So, we must go with the sample survey and make our projection based on the sample survey. Now, let us delve more into this important matrix, constructions of this important matrix. First, let us try with this matrix, the very basic matrix which is called the trial rate. Trial rate is nothing but it is the percentage of a defined population that purchases or uses a product for the first time in a given period of time. So, as you can see in this formula, trial rate equal to first time triers in given period t divided by the total population. Total population means the size of the target market. First time triers in period t, the number of customers who purchase or use a product or brand for the first time in that given period, right. So, if I just want to reverse this calculations, if I need to calculate the first time triers in given period t, then it will be total market size or total population multiplied by trial rate. So, this is I think this formula is much easier to conceive, but as we do the volume projections, this particular matrix will be used extensively. We will illustrate the same with an example. Let us look at this example. A cable TV company keeps careful records of the names and addresses of its customers. The firm's vice president of marketing notes that 150 households made first time use of this company's service in March 2009. The company has access to 30,000 households. So, you need to calculate the trial rate. So, how can we calculate the trial rate? Using the same formula. Trial rate equal to first time triers in period t divided by total population or total market size. As per our example is concerned, it is what is the first time triers in period t? It is 150. 150 customers has 150 household have made the first time use of the company's service. What is the total market size? It is 30,000. So, 150 divided by 30,000 is equal to 0.005 or 0.5 percentage. So, this is how we can calculate the trial rate. On the other hand, if trial rate is given, if total population size is given, then in that case we can easily calculate the first time triers in that particular period. So, this example is directly taken from this book. In fact, all the examples that we are going to discuss in this particular week are taken from the textbook that is given in your course outline. Now, next comes this concept of penetration and volume projection. What is penetration? It is basically the reach of the brand or reach of the product among the target set of customers. Construct wise, it is the percentage of target market that has purchased the product at least once during a specific time period. Penetration provides a snapshot of how well the product is performing in terms of reach within the given market. Mathematically, penetration at time period t equal to penetration in time period t minus 1 multiplied by repeat rate of period t plus first time triers in period t. Let us say last year I had 100 customers and let us say 60% of my customers are repeat customers. So, I will retain 60% of this 100 customers for my next year purchase. So, what will be the total repeat purchases? 100 multiplied by 60%, that is 60, and in this particular period I have also acquired 20 new customers. So, 60 plus 20, that will be my total penetration for this current period or current year. Penetration is important because it helps us in volume projections. Volume projection estimate the total units or the sales volume the product will generate over a given period of time. Volume projection help in planning the production, in distribution, in marketing budget, in finance forecasting, right. Even it helps you in making the equipment planning. Now, if I have to calculate if I have to predict or forecast the sales, how can I do it? I can just combine this some of the metrics, projection of sales or sales forecasting, anticipated sales equal to what is the penetration rate multiplied by frequency of purchase, or this is not penetration rate, what is the penetration number, right. How many customers are going to purchase the product in that given period of time. The customers may be my repeat customers, the customers may be my new customers. So, it is all about the penetration number multiplied by frequency of purchase, how many times the customers will purchase the product in the given period of time, and multiplied by units per purchase, how many average units are bought per purchases. So, this is quite easy to conceive. So, this way, using this penetration matrix we can project the overall sales for a given period of time. Let us look into this example. A cable TV company started selling a monthly sports package in January. The company typically has an 80% repeat rate and anticipates that this will continue for the new offering. The company sold 10,000 sports packages in January. In February, it expects to add 3,000 customers for the package, 3,000 new customers. On the basis of this data, we can calculate the expected penetration for the sports package for the month of February. Penetration for the February will be penetration in January multiplied by repeat rate plus first time triers in February. So, penetration in January was 10,000, 10,000 multiplied by 80%, which will give us a value of 8,000, plus the new purchaser will be 3,000. That is, we will have a total penetration for the month of February is 11,000. Let's put another extension to this data. Later that year, in September, the company has 20,000 subscribers. Its repeat rate remains 80%. The company had 18,000 subscribers in the month of August. Now, the management wants to know how many new customers the firm added for its sports package in the month of September. Right. So, now we are trying to calculate the first time triers. So, it is nothing but first time triers will be total penetration minus repeat customers. So, what is my total penetration? It is given as 20,000 and my repeat customers are, as I can see, I am deriving 18,000, my number of customers in the month of August is 18,000 and I am assuming that I am still continuing with this 80% of retention or repeat. So, the repeat number of customers for the month of September is 18,000 multiplied by 80%. So, the overall value that will come as 5,600. So, this 5,600 is my total number of new triers or new customers. Now, let us look into this another, not different matrix, but extension of the similar matrix, which is termed as adjusted trial rate. The genesis of this particular matrix is that Let us say whenever we are doing a market survey, so we do it in this way. So, I will ask the potential set of customers in the target market regarding, I will give a product demonstration or I will explain what the product is going to be, and based on I will try to capture data regarding if this particular product is launched, what will be their purchase intention. It can be given in a Likert scale like definitely buy, probably buy, may or may not buy, probably not buy and definitely not buy. So, these are the 5 categories. So, who are going to purchase the product? Persons who have responded as definitely buy and probably buy. From the rest of these 3 categories, there is extremely unlikely to buy. Even if there is some some customers buy from that category also, it is quite insignificant. So, what we need to concentrate is on these customers, these top 2 tiers customers, top 2 tiers respondents who have responded as definitely buy and probably buy. Now, we need to internalize one fact is that response is not actual purchase. Positive response may be because of multiple purposes. It can come because of the social desirability, it can come because the customer has actually an intention to purchase, but let us say there is no distribution stored nearby. So, actual purchase is different from intention. So, what we have to assume is that out of this top 2 tiers, some percentage of people will purchase, and we can further bifurcate it that from the definitely buy category, more percentage of customers will buy, and from the probably buy category, less percentage of people will buy this product. So, that is why we use this one called adjusted trial rate. One is, I mean, here we are adjusting for convenience of purchase, and let us say we are also adjusting for the difference between actual purchase and responses. Adjusted trial rate equal to trial rate multiplied by awareness level. So, awareness level is that in the target market, all the customers may not be aware about your brand. So, rather than taking all the customers in our accounting, what we try to do? We will try to capture the data who are becoming aware about the product. Unless and until there is an awareness level being developed, then in that case the target market is not going to purchase the product. And there is third parameter which is called ACV or all commodity value, which is a surrogate of your distribution level. Like I have said that some of the customers have responded that they will definitely buy the product or they are probably to buy the product, but somehow they are unable to purchase it because there is no distribution in their nearby retail market. So, this adjusted trial rate accounts for all these gaps. Now, we will define another parameter which is called a trial population. So, trial population is nothing but the target population, the size of the target population multiplied by adjusted trial rate, right. So, adjusted trial rate has already taken care of the aspect of awareness level, it has already taken care of this gap in distribution through ACV. Now, ultimately we can calculate the trial volume equal to trial population multiplied by units per purchase by the trial population. Similarly, we can also calculate the repeat buyers number equal to trial population multiplied by the repeat rate. Similarly, the repeat volume will be repeat buyers. I mean, I am just expanding this equation, the trial population equation, repeat volume equal to repeat buyers multiplied by repeat volume per customers multiplied by repeat occasions, right. So, similarly, again repeat volume can be expanded further by expanding this repeat buyers. So, repeat buyers equal to, as we have already developed, trial population multiplied by repeat rate, right. So, we can keep on expanding. So, ultimately what we have to conclude is that total volume equal to trial volume plus repeat volume, fine. So, we are just bifurcating whatever sales that is coming, either they are repeat purchaser or they are new triers. So, this is how we can construct the trial volumes and repeat volume matrix, fine. So, we will look into this matrix with the help of some examples. The marketing team of an office supply manufacturer has a great idea for a new product, that is a safety stapler. To sell the idea internally, they want to project the volume of sales they can expect over the stapler's first year. The customer survey yields the following results as shown in the table. What is the percentage of customers who have responded as definitely will buy 20%, probably will buy 50%, then may or may not buy 15%, and probably won't buy is 10%, and ultimately definitely won't buy is 5%. So, we will not be concentrating anything on this may or may not buy, probably won't buy and definitely won't buy, because the number of customers coming from this category is extremely unlikely. Even if some customers are, let us say, coming from may or may not buy category, it is insignificant. So, we will only consider this top two tiers, definitely will buy and probably will buy, and we are pretty sure that the conversion from definitely will buy category will be higher than probably will buy category. On this basis, the company estimates a trial rate for the new stapler by applying the industry standard expectation that 80% of definites and 30% of the probables will in fact buy the product in the given opportunity. So, if this is so, then what will be the trial rate? Trial rate will be my 80% of the definites and 30% of the probable. So, 80% of the definites mean definites consist of 20% of my total population. So, 80% of 20% plus 30% of 50%, it gives me a value of 31%. So, my trial rate is 31%. Now, we are continuing expanding the same example. 31% of the population is expected to try the product if they are aware of it and if it is available in the stores, right. So, in case of trial rate, we have already adjusted for this one, adjusted for awareness and availability or distribution. The company has a strong advertising presence and a solid distribution network. Consequently, its marketers believe they can obtain an ACV of approximately 60% for the stapler and that they can generate awareness at a similar level. Like, so what it is saying is that awareness level is 60% and all commodity volume is also at 60%, means the distribution reach is at 60%. So, therefore, the adjusted trial rate will be, what is our trial rate? It is 31% multiplied by awareness level, which is 60%, and multiplied by ACV, that is distribution reach, that is another 60%. So, 31% multiplied by 60% multiplied by 60% gives us a value of 11.16 percentage. The target population comprises of 20 million people. The trial population can be calculated by multiplying this figure by the adjusted trial rate. So, 11.16% multiplied by 20 million gives us a value of 2.232 million. Assuming that each person buys 1 unit when trying the product, the trial volume will be total, again it will remain the same, each person is buying 1 product. So, 2.232 million unit, fine. Now, we will continue with the same example. The safety stapler has a trial population of 2.232 million. Marketers expect the product to be of sufficient quality to generate a 10% repeat rate in the first year. So, if my total number of customers are 2.232 million in the with a 10% retention rate or 10% repeat customers, how many customers I will be left with in terms of repeat customer is 10% of this 2.232 million, which will give us a value of 2,23,200 persons or customers. On average, let us say the company expect each repeat buyers to purchase on 4 occasions during the first year. So, this 2,23,200 into 4, right. So, there are 4, frequency is 4. On average, each purchase is expected to comprise of 2 units. So, 2,23,200 multiplied by 4 occasions multiplied by 2 units in each purchase gives us a value of this one 17,85,600 units. So, this can be represented in the formula, right. So, what is the repeat rate, what is the trial population, what is the repeat volume per customers, and what is the repeat frequency. So, based on this we can calculate overall projection. So, our overall projection as far as this example is concerned is 17,85,600 units. Now, we will summarize this matrix associated with trial, repeat and penetration. Look at this one, the first metric, that is trial. As per the construction is concerned, it is the first time users as a percentage of the target population. Considerations: it distinguishes the ever tried from the new triers in the current period. So, it bifurcates who are our repeat customers and who are our new customers. The purpose of this matrix is to have an understanding that over time the sales should rely less on the trial and more on the repeat purchases. That is why this bifurcation is important. Then the second metric is repeat volume. Basically, they refers to the repeat buyers multiplied by the number of products they buy in each of these transactions multiplied by the number of times the transaction happens in the given period of time. Considerations for this metric is, depending on when the trial was achieved, not all the triers will have an equal opportunity to make the repeat purchases. Only a proportion of the triers will be our repeat customers. The purpose of this matrix is that it measures the stability of a brand franchisee. How many customers are patronizing the brand. Then next matrix is about penetration. Construction wise, users in the previous period multiplied by the repeat rate for the current period plus the new triers in the current period. So, basically it refers to those customers who have made at least one purchase in the given period of time. As we know that the persons will be either from new customers category or from the repeat customers category. The considerations are, the length of the period will affect the norms. That is, more customers buy in a year than in a month. And the purpose of this matrix is that it measures the population buying in that given period of time. We will be able to understand how many persons are making the purchases. Ultimately, the volume projection matrix. It combines the trial volume and the repeat volume to project the actual requirement for a given period of time. So, the various considerations are, it adjusts the trial and repeat rates for the time frame, as we have seen in our examples. Not all the triers will have the time or opportunity to repeat the purchase, and ultimately looking at this purpose of this volume projection matrix is that it can help us in planning the production and inventories for both the trade sales and consumers offtake. So, this is all about the matrix that we have covered in today's session. I will see you in the next class. Thank you.